Hi there folks, welcome to a special Christmas gift edition of Mr. Drew. Today I'll be finishing a portrait of Bobby Orr in colored pencil. This is going to be a gift for my brother-in-law who is a huge hockey fan. He loves the Bruins and Bobby Orr was his favorite player from all time, I believe. And this is from the time that Bobby Orr was playing for the Bruins. I think he went on to play in the Blackhawks later on. Forgive me, I'm not super knowledgeable about hockey. I enjoy watching it. It's fun going to the arena and feeling the chill in the air and hearing the roar of the crowd. But my brother-in-law and my good friend Sean, they can both tell you just about any player, any team, all their stats. So yeah, I'd say my brother-in-law is a super fan, and so I hope he enjoys this piece as his Christmas gift. I haven't done a lot of colored pencil. I started to teach myself colored pencil a couple years ago. Every medium has its benefits and its drawbacks. I like the fact that with colored pencil I don't need to use solvent, although you can use like an alcohol-based marker, like a clear blending marker to blend the colored pencil. I usually just use the straight colored pencil on the paper. And this is a toned tan Strathmore 400 paper. It's a real smooth finish, and that tan color is a nice kind of background where you can see your lights and your darks against it. I'm using Prismacolor pencils, and for me they work great. I love them. I found a nice big box of them on Amazon for about $60 or $70. I'll try to see if they still have that link and put that in the description for you. I know that a lot of really serious colored pencil artists will use Caran d'Ache, I think is the brand, but they're 2 or 3 times as expensive as Prismacolors. So I really like the Prismacolors and how they work. I think they go on smoothly and have a beautiful color to them. I had actually started this piece of art about a year ago and I got sidetracked, so I figured I wanted to finish it up for my brother-in-law for his Christmas present this year. One of the things with Prismacolor pencils is not all of the colors are light fast, and they can fade if you have them under UV light. So I'm planning on doing a framing video, how I'll frame this piece. And one of the things that can just help protect it is make sure you have a glass in front of the drawing that is UV protectant, and that way you're not going to have your colors fading over the years. The colored pencil can erase. I'm using a number of erasers here. I use the kneaded eraser to lift out a little color. I use my pencil eraser to lift out some areas, and the electric eraser, I showed that to you in the video where I went over my drawing supplies for graphite drawings. And the electric eraser works really well with this to lift up a lot of the color. With colored pencil, I can never really lift up the entire color. There's always going to be a little bit of color left over no matter what eraser I'm using. So as I'm starting to work on the face here, I'm just gradually building up light tones and then getting a little bit darker and a little bit darker as I get more confident where the colors and the values should be. But that electric eraser really does help a lot to lift out areas you want to try to rework. In this drawing, I let some of the color of the paper show through the drawing. I don't completely cover all the areas. I know, once again, some people who use colored pencil exclusively, they do a great job where they have this very solid opaque color everywhere. And you can do a lot of blending, you can build up layers and layers, but I just kind of bring it to a finish where I'm happy with it. One of the fun things about using colored pencil or pastel is that usually, unless you have hundreds and hundreds of different colors, you're going to have a limitation as far as what colors you'll have on hand. So you have to kind of pick and choose what are the closest colors to the area you're working on. So I'd say the most important considerations when you're using colored pencil is you need to look at the value of the pencil. Is it light enough or dark enough for the area you're working on? And then with the color, is the color close? Is it the right approximate temperature? And a lot of times as I was working here, I found I don't have just one pencil that works great for an area. So I'd have to do some layering, maybe start with like a peach tone for the skin and then put some browns on there, put some reds in there. And so that also kind of helps as you lightly build up the layers to really zero in on the color you want. Once you blend colors, Prismacolor does have a clear blending pencil. If you blend the colors, the color kind of takes on a different effect. So sometimes I'm not too happy with that. I might just erase an area and rework it. Even the black on the jersey there, I have some brown mixed in with that. So none of the areas are really just one pure color. I tried a new camera angle for this video to try to get as close to a straight-on view of the portrait as I could. So I apologize. You can see my face popping in there quite often. And I don't know if you can notice, but I've got a little piece of tracing paper taped underneath my hand, and that way anywhere I move my hand, I'm going to protect the surface and prevent from smudging. I picked that up from J.D. Hilberry on one of his videos. He talked about taping a piece of paper to your hand and protecting your work from smudging. You might see I'm working from my phone there. I had a printed picture, but the picture that I found of Bobby Orr, I liked the pose, I liked the lighting, I liked the color, but it was just really grainy, and so it helped a little bit to work off my phone where I could zoom in and see the detail a little bit better. Even with that though, it really wasn't the greatest source. It was not as clear as I would have liked. But we do what we can with what we have. I usually don't recommend people working off of their phone. It is frustrating because the phone keeps shutting off. You have to keep turning it back on, and then if you accidentally touch it, maybe you scoot the photo over or you exit the photo app. So it's frustrating, but it can work if you have to do that in a pinch. I was really thankful to get this done in time for Christmas. At the end of the semester, we still had to wrap some things up, getting grades in, and some meetings and such. So I was getting a little nervous. I thought, oh man, I might have to wait another year to get this to my brother-in-law. But thankfully, I was able to get it finished. And kind of a double purpose here, show you a little video of my process for colored pencil work. I will get back into watercolor here after the next couple weeks and do some videos demonstrating that. I mentioned in the last watercolor video, it's really nice to try different mediums. So maybe you are an oil painter, maybe you're a graphite drawer, maybe you prefer charcoal or you prefer acrylic or watercolor. Whatever your preferred medium is, definitely stick with that and play to your strengths, but it is really fun and it's very helpful, I think, to try to experiment with different mediums and just explore what's out there. And you can actually intermix the mediums, do some mixed media. I've seen people do watercolor with colored pencil on top. You can do acrylic underpainting with an oil painting on top. A lot of different mixes you can do, and once again, every medium has its benefits and its drawbacks, and you can use each medium for the strengths that it has. So here's kind of a slow pan of the finished drawing. So that's the completed drawing there. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you have a great Christmas this coming week. And thank you so much for watching.